Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Everyone may be seated. Welcome, parents, teachers, staff members, school officials, family, friends, and students, to the graduation of Essex High School's class of 2001, the true first graduating class of the 21st century. Well, we did it. We put in our time, and now we are finally sitting here with our friends and classmates, celebrating the completion of 13 years of education. Today is our day to rejoice in our successes. We may not have had to eat rodents, find our own food, form alliances, or vote people off any islands, but we did face our own challenges as children and then as young adults. We are survivors of today. Today is also a day to say goodbye to our childhood lives, almost 2 decades from the early 80s to the new millennium. Throughout our childhood, we amused ourselves with all of the popular dolls, such as the Cabbage Patch Kids, Barbie, Rainbow Bright, and Gem Sparkle dolls, Transformers, He-Man, My Little Pony, Strawberry Shortcake, Teddy Ruxpin, Care Bears, Smurfs, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and of course, G.I. Joe. We grew up watching popular media such as Star Wars, Sesame Street, Mr. Rogers, The Cosby Show, The Simpsons, and MTV. We lived through the outrageous fashions of the 80s, the bright neon colors, short shorts, tight pants, stonewashed jeans, jean jackets, baggy shirts, and high tops. We saw the original boy band, the New Kids on the Block, come and go. And who can forget about Vanilla Ice and MC Hammer? Run DMC became the pioneering group for rap music, and compact discs first became popular and are now ruling the music industry. We have experienced the presidencies of Ronald Reagan, the movie star, George Bush, the broccoli lover, Bill Clinton and his escapades, and finally George W. Bush and his unique renditions of the English language. We have lived through the many horrible disasters of Y2K. Oh wait, that never really happened, did it? And we are surviving the gas prices of today. Here in Vermont, we have seen the price of gas go from $1.12 in 1983, dropping below $1 in the late 80s, and finally to the all-time high in the 21st century so far, $1.69. All of these shared experiences have shaped and influenced us, yet we are still each unique individuals. As we look around the stadium, we see the faces of many different people who make up our class. We are scholars, artists, musicians, actors, athletes, comedians, and cadets. We are survivors of childhood and adolescence. We have studied together, competed together, laughed together, cried together, and celebrated together. We've become who we are because of these shared experiences, and because of the guidance and support of teachers, family, and friends who have been with us, some for the last 4 years, and some for our whole lives. At times, it may not have been easy to get where we are now, but we persevered and learned how to treasure the good times and survive the tough times. We may not have won $1 million, but we won at the game that we came to play. Thank you to everyone who has helped us get where we are today. To my classmates, this ceremony signifies the end of one stage of your lives and the beginning of a new chapter. Whatever path you choose, may it be one that allows you to use your talents to live your dreams. Congratulations, my friends, and good luck to the class of 2001. On a final note, I would like to take another minute to publicly recognize one of Essex High School's outstanding administrators, Mr. Armando Villaseca. We at Essex High School have known for a while what a great principal Mr. V is. Now everyone else knows as well. Mr. Villaseca was awarded Vermont Principal of the Year for the 2000-2001 school year. This is a great honor, and the faculty, staff, and students of Essex High School have compiled a scrapbook of personal messages to pay tribute to Mr. Villaseca's accomplishments. On behalf of everyone at the high school and in the community, thank you for all your time, your dedication, and your hard work. Congratulations on your award, Mr. V. It is well deserved.
Thank you, Aaron. That throws off my written speech now. This is a day to recognize all of you. This is a day to recognize the graduates, their families, their teachers, their kindergarten teachers, middle school teachers, Boy Scout, Girl Scout leaders, church leaders, Little League coaches, and all those other people who have helped you where you are today. Nobody can do this alone. If someone offers you a helping hand, take it, because you may not get another one. So in this special day that is special for all of you, I also acknowledge and thank all of you who helped the students get through some of the most difficult parts of their lives. High school has been a challenge for many of us. Ages 14 through 18 can be some of the most interesting times. And I think there's payback, 20 years from now, but that's okay. You have matured and grown over 4 years. But remember, this is only high school. What counts now is what you do over the next 4 years, over the next 20 years, over the next 40 years. And what are those things that are important? How much money you make? Yeah, that's probably somewhat important. But it's really how people will remember you. Were you compassionate? Did you work hard? Did you treat others with respect? Did you get involved in the community to help improve the quality of life for those that you haven't even met and may never meet? That's what's truly important in life. And as I've seen from this graduating class and other graduating classes, you have what it takes to improve our community, to improve our country. Some of you may need to mature a little bit and maybe be a little bit more responsible and make sure you write things down, but those are all the process. It's who you are that I think is important. If I add up all the hours of community service that people have done over the last 4 years, there are literally thousands and thousands and thousands of hours, folks, that these students, these adults now, have put into our community to improve it. And for that, I thank them. Special for me also, because there are probably about 20 students out there who I've known since, been their principal since kindergarten. And as I look around and I feel the pride that I have, because I will take a little, not credit, but just that I was part of their lives over the last 12, 13 years. When I talk to my son about role models, I don't talk about Shaq or Kobe or people like that. I talk about real-life role models like you, who do well in school, are involved in the community, are good sons and daughters. Continue to do that. I was reading this morning, before I came here, a book, and I read a quote that I thought was something that I live by, only because I don't feel that I have that much talent, but I work hard. And what this quote was basically is that talent is cheap. It's what you do with that talent that is important. Work hard, and good luck in the future. Thank you very much.
Dr. Deweese, Diane Mitchell, Chair of the School Board Union 46, Mr. Villaseca, members of the faculty and staff, grandparents, parents, family members, friends, our valedictorian, Laura Cole, and our salutatorian, Rebecca Kane, and most importantly, each of you, the members of the class of 2001. I'm sure glad it cooled off. Good morning. It's good to be with you and to be a small part of this, your commencement ceremony. In the few minutes that I have to share a few thoughts with you, I promise not to deliver a verbal sedative, nor to fill the air with a lot of polysyllabic profundity, rhodomontade bombast, pompous prolixity, platitudinous ponderosity, or even with witty metaphors. Because in preparing my remarks for you today, I read a book from our school library on great commencement addresses, and I learned two very important things. First, it really doesn't matter what you say. What matters is how long you take to say it. And second, that a strange auditory disease affects all graduates once they put on the cap and gown. The sense of hearing goes. So with that in mind, don't get too comfortable, because you won't be here long, for I plan to be brief so that your ceremony can move right along. I do, however, have a few thoughts that I hope will be worthy of your consideration. My message for you today is to believe in yourself. For each of you, regardless of your class ranking, is a unique individual with talents, aptitudes, and abilities that no one else has. Be proud of the many good things that you have accomplished over the past 4 years, and learn from those things that did not go so well. Have the self-confidence to accept important challenges in the future and give them your very best effort. Never underestimate your own ability. Too many others will do that for you. Make no small plans. Set high personal goals. And remember that not failure, but low aim is crime. For with ordinary talent and extraordinary effort, all realistic goals are attainable. Know also that a pessimist is one who makes difficulties of opportunities Well, an optimist is one who makes opportunities of difficulties. Strive to be an optimist. This commencement ceremony symbolizes an end as well as a beginning. For today, you are leaving the security of the past for the uncertainties of the future, and that has to be a bit scary. This day brings for each of you newfound freedoms as well as newfound responsibilities and challenges. I believe that the first great challenge and responsibility for all of you is to determine in what areas your talents lie, and then once identified, to develop them to the greatest extent possible with whatever form of education or training is required. Pardon me. And once your gifts and talents are defined and fully developed, you have the responsibility to share them with others. For we live in a web of interdependence with each other in all other forms of life, each with our own unique role to play, and each deserving both self-respect as well as the respect of others. The great African missionary Albert Schweitzer once remarked, "I don't know what your destiny will be, but I do know that the only ones among you who will be really happy are those who have sought and found how to serve." Forgiving of yourself, learning to be tolerant, giving recognition and approval to others, remaining flexible enough to mature and learn, yields happiness, harmony, contentment, and productivity, and these are the qualities of a rich and fruitful life. At this time, I would like to share with you a favorite poem entitled The Bridge Builder, which I have used in my ecology classes over the years, written by Will Allen Drumgold, which expresses the responsibility that we all have to future generations. It reads as follows. An old man going a lone highway came at the evening cold and gray to a chasm vast and deep and wide, through which was flowing a sullen tide. The old man crossed in the twilight dim. The sullen stream had no fears for him, but he turned when safe on the other side and built a bridge to span the tide. "Old man," said a fellow pilgrim near, "you are wasting strength with building here. Your journey will end with the ending day. You never again must pass this way. You have crossed the chasm deep and wide. Why build you the bridge at the eventide?" The builder lifted his old gray head. "Good friend, in the path I have come," he said, "there followeth after me today a youth whose feet must pass this way. This chasm that has been naught to me, to that fair-haired youth may a pitfall be. He too must cross in the twilight dim. Good friend, I am building the bridge for him." Over the past 4 years, it has been my pleasure to work with many of you in and out of the classroom, and I have observed in you some remarkable character traits, such as responsibility, courage, compassion, loyalty, honesty, friendship, persistence, hard work, self-discipline, and faith. I believe that all of you have a tremendous capacity for doing good and making positive contributions in today's world. In a time that seems to glorify aggression and violence, it must be understood that the hope of the future lies not in competitive aggression, but rather in cooperative coexistence. For kindness, compassion, and cooperation are our needs today in our homes, our schools, our communities, and in our national and international affairs. It would be very easy for me to stand here today and state that all is for the best in the best of all possible worlds, as Voltaire once said, and to say that global problems are a myth. However, that, as we all know, is simply not the case. The truth is, the world faces a myriad of complex problems, all of which require creative, positive, remedial action. The shape of the world in the foreseeable future and man's place in it will be determined by the manner in which humanity confronts several major ecological and social challenges. A future for man can only be assured when the ultimate danger of modern war is fully recognized and mankind abandons warfare. As a young man back in 1961, I remember hearing President Kennedy say, "All nations must begin anew the quest for peace, before the dark powers of destruction unleashed by modern science engulf all mankind in planned or accidental self-destruction. Mankind must put an end to war, or war will put an end to mankind. An estimated 100 million people died in the wars of the past century, and there were untold millions of casualties. We survived the Cuban Missile Crisis. We cannot survive a World War III. I believe today, as never before, that we need a new vision, a new courage, and a stronger political will to break out of the negative trends of the past and to establish a new global ethic of peace and hope for the people of all nations. I believe that such a change is not only necessary, it is also possible. For you young people and others like you are the hope for a new world order of peace, harmony, and prosperity. Remembering that the only requirement for evil to be successful is for good men and women to do nothing, I challenge you today to join your collective talents and ideologies with those of other young people around the globe, to form a grand and global alliance, North and South, East and West, against the common enemies of man: tyranny, poverty, disease, hatred, racism, and war itself. For united, there is little you cannot do in a host of cooperative ventures to assure a more fruitful life for all mankind. Finally, with words taken from the inaugural address of John Fitzgerald Kennedy, with a good conscience our only sure reward, with history the final judge of our deeds, let us go forth to lead the land we love, asking His blessing and His help, but knowing that here on earth, God's work must truly be our own. Thank you, goodbye, good luck, class of 2001. You aren't one of the best, you are the best. Thank you very much.
When I got my report card at the end of my junior year, I found out that I was second in the class. I knew what that meant, so it was my goal this year to drop just one spot so I wouldn't have to give a speech. But I guess it didn't work, and here I am doing what I hate the most, giving speeches. Last year, to get over my fear, I took public speaking, but by the end of the course, I still hated speaking just as much as I had at the beginning. I got really nervous every time I had to give a speech in front of 20 people. And now here I am in front of, well, I probably shouldn't even think about that. Once I found out that I had to give a speech, I still had to think of a topic. And even though every person I talked to gave me yet another idea, none of them quite seemed to fit. My bio teacher told me just to give my final presentation on coral reefs as my speech. But I didn't figure anyone would really be interested in hearing about the destruction of coral reefs. One of my friends told me to read a Dr. Seuss book, but my mom said that had already been done. So finally, I just decided to talk about the reason that I'm standing here today giving a speech. It all started in 7th grade. I became obsessed with Stanford. That year, the Stanford basketball team was really good, and that's all anyone ever talked about. From that day on, I decided I was going to go there. Whenever anyone asked me where I was going to college, I said Stanford and just watched them gaze at me in disbelief. I didn't worry about the statistics, that something like only 10% of the applicants were accepted, and I didn't listen when I heard that 50% of the students had SAT scores in the 1500s. As my health teacher in 10th grade had said, anyone that tells you that you can't accomplish your dream is a dream stealer. I took that information with me and disregarded what anyone said to me. I worked toward my goal all throughout high school, trying my best in everything. I took the SATs more times than I would like to remember, and I just hoped it would pay off. I worked harder on my Stanford application than on any of the other applications, and then I just waited and waited. Many of you are probably wondering whether I got in or whether I'm going there next year. The answer to both questions is no. After all my work, I didn't get in. I was sad at first when that thin little envelope came in the mail. But as my mom said, would you really want to go to school with all those dorks? And my dad said, you didn't really want to go that far away from us, did you? But looking back, I don't regret anything. I'm glad I had this almost impossible dream. My hard work and dedication paid off, and even though I didn't even get in, it is the reason that I'm standing here giving this speech. The point of this story is to show all the graduates and everyone else here to dream big. As someone's quote in the yearbook says, there is no dream too big and no dreamer too small. Dream and then follow your heart, doing whatever it takes to accomplish your goal. It may take a ton of work and even more time than that, but that is what will make it rewarding in the end. And even if you don't reach your goal, you'll still be a success. You will have gained so much along the way and learned so much that it will have been worth it. And don't let anyone tell you that it can't be done, because if I had listened to everyone, I would not even have applied there. So in whatever you're doing next year, going to college, traveling, or working, follow your dreams. It doesn't matter what road you're taking. It just matters that you follow your heart and do what makes you happy. As the saying goes, shoot for the moon, and even if you miss, you'll still land among the stars. And finally, I just want to say congratulations to all the graduates sitting here today. By sitting here as a graduate of Essex High School, you've already succeeded. And congratulations and thanks to all our family and friends for all their support and for putting up with us throughout all the years. And if anyone here doesn't think putting up with us was a hard job, then you can talk to my parents after graduation, because they'll probably try to convince you otherwise. To all the graduates, we have the rest of our lives ahead of us, with the world waiting for us to make our impact on it. So follow your dreams, and nothing can stop you.
As I stand before you today, I ask you to take a moment and look not towards the future, but towards the past. It's not the classroom where we spent countless hours during the last 4 years that we will miss when we look back, but it's rather the teachers, coaches, and especially those people sitting around you today who we will hold in our hearts forever. So take a good look around you. These people are your classmates, your friends, your teammates, and some are just acquaintances whose faces you've come to take for granted seeing in the halls every day. Many of us have been together since middle school, and some of us have histories going back to grade school or even younger. We have all helped mold one another into the people that we are today, and we will always carry with us a part of each other. The saddest thing about graduating is that not only are we freed from the confining walls of the classroom, but we are also freed from the protective embrace of our childhood. We are no longer children playing in the schoolyard with our parents looking over our shoulder, although we may still need them to sometimes. We are adults now, and in being adults, we will create our own paths in life, which will undoubtedly lead us in different directions. We share a common past, but we will make our own futures. Some of us will be going to college, others will join the ranks of the workforce, and others still will explore the destinies that they will make for themselves. Wherever we may go, we will always share common memories, although we will carry them in different ways. Our paths may never cross again, so I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all the people who have touched my life. You will always have a special place in my heart as well as in the hearts of many of the other people sitting here today. So until we have the good fortune to meet again, I wish you all good luck in the future and the greatest success in life.
There are several designations of awards following some of the students' names on the programs this morning. A 1 indicates membership in the National Honor Society. A 2 means the student obtained a 3 3/4 years average of 87 or better and is designated as pro merito. In order to honor all the graduates, we ask that you please hold your applause until all have received their diplomas. Marcy Elaine Hebert, Rotary Scholarship recipient. Elizabeth Amanda Abrams. Casey Bernice Adams, Essex Rotary Scholarship recipient. Luke Addison Araldi. Christopher Daniel Allen. John Robert Anderson. Sarah Ann Arms. Christopher Perry Arnold. Michael Lee Arnold. Nola Celestine Atkins. Michael John Audette. Carrie Joy Baker. Reuben Davidson Barris. Ryan Harrison Barnes. Nicole Lynn Barnier. Kara Lee Basselier. David Guthrie Bean. Rachel Marie Bodwin. Justin J.D. Bolio. Michael Scott Bergeron. Rachel Ann Birch. Jonathan Thomas Bissett, National Merit Commendation, UVM Vermont Scholar. Sarah Bilodeau, National Merit Commendations. Jesse David Bishop. Michael John Bishop. Jacqueline Marie Blake. John W. Blanchard. William Harold Blow, Jr. Kevin Leo Boscar. Deborah Lee Booker. Aubrey Elizabeth Bossman. Dennis James Bouchard. Elizabeth Susan Bouchard, UVM Vermont Scholar, UVM Community Service Scholarship, Wilbur Grant Scholarship. Corey Allen Boudreau. Robert Francis Bouffard, Air Force ROTC Scholarship, University of New Hampshire Scholarship. Amy Elizabeth Bowers. Megan Emily Boley. Colin Alden Brady. Sarah Elizabeth Brady. Daniel Scott Brasher. Erin Elise Brearley. Emily Joy Brennan, Essex Classical Institute Scholarship. Nicholas Ryan Brink. Jamie Michelle Bro. Andrew Patrick Brown. Lauren Macaulay Brown. Lindsay Ann Budnick, Essex Junction Firefighters Association Scholarship, UVM Community Service Scholarship. Jillian Rose Burnell. Robert Martin Burrows. Ryan Colin Bushy. Emily Taylor Cahill. Rebecca Elizabeth Kane. Katie Lee Kalin. Erin Marie Cardinal. Benjamin Nathan Carlson. Jeffrey Robert Carpenter. Erin Elizabeth Russell Carter. Nathan Lewis Senever. Nicole Elizabeth Chrisman. Matthew Paul Cohen. Michael Salvatore Colaccio. Laura Rebecca Cole, IBM Thomas J. Watson Scholarship, UVM Green and Gold Scholar. Kenneth Alex Colston. Jamie Marie Combs, Alfred University Scholarship. Sheila Jane Cooley. Marcel Leo Cody. Sarah Cronin, VSAC, Alfred T. Granger Student Art Fund Scholarship, Burlington Veterans Club Scholarship. Matthew Joseph Croto. Jonathan W. Cummings. Stephen James Currier. Abby Elizabeth Curtis, Essex Junction Lions Club Scholarship. Jeffrey David Daigle. Heidi Lee Dalton. Justin David Dapkowitz. Jessica Lee Davis. Elizabeth Lynn DeHaan. Daniel James Desolate. Jeffrey Devino. Erin Michelle Diminick. Sarah Elizabeth Dion. Kyla S. Drew. Christine Lee Duclos. Terry Jean Duffy. Peter William Dugan. Elizabeth Dorothy Duncan, National Merit Commendations. Noelle Christine Duncan, IBM Thomas J. Watson Scholarship. Trevor Adam Errett, Essex Business and Professional Association. David Gabriel Epstein, National Merit Commendations. Christine Elizabeth Erickson. Zachary Michael Fay. Gustav Louis Feldman. Courtney Lynn Fisher. Jacob Lee Fitzgerald. Ryan Patrick Fitzgerald. Adam William Flick. Casey Ray Frades. Sarah Elizabeth Galliano. Joseph William Galdi. Jennifer White Gallant. Joseph James Gangle. Sarah Jewett Jelinas. Travis Joel Germain. Key Elizabeth Gibson. Kimberly Dawn Glinmeyer. Erin Elizabeth Gaudette. Jason Daniel Gonzalez. Linnea Rose Goodman. Jessica Lee Goodrich. Carissa Ann Gordon, Burger King Scholars Foundation Award, Athletic Weightlifting Olympic Training Center Scholarship. Samuel Peter Gray. John Timothy Green. Casey Marie Greeno. Hillary Joy Guernsey. Alexander Colbin Jurieri. Sammy H. Hamdy. Justine Ann Hanlon. Andrew Lynch Harmon. Ashton James Harrowan. Leslie Ann Hendry. Brett Thomas Henry. Leah Louise Hersey. Paige Maureen Hess. Julia Ann Hibbs, National Merit Commendations. Catherine Ann Hill, Essex Classical Institute Scholarship, William Slott Scholarship. Brian Patrick Holmes. David Michael Hahnemann, UVM Vermont Scholar. Rachel Aaron Horn, Essex Classical Institute Scholarship. Adam Edward Horton, IBM Thomas J. Watson Scholarship, Discover Card Tribute Scholarship, Olean College Scholarship. Christopher Daniel Hunt. David Michael Irwin, Elmira College Scholarship. Rebecca Jo James, Essex Classical Institute Scholarship. Jenna Elizabeth German. Logan Carl Jex. Nicholas William Johnson. Joseph David Kale. Corey Joseph Kazak. James Michael Keel. Rachel Melissa Keener. Sarah Marie Kellogg. Richard Patrick Ketchum. Toshiro Charles Kita, National Merit Finalist and Scholarship winner. Brett Michael Kilmer. Catherine Roseanne J. Cassane. Cassandra Irene Cavella. Abby Lee Kowalowitz. Mark John Labonte II. Philip Edward LaCroix. Ryan Edmund Lacrosse. Olivia Ann Ledoux. Ava Neff Lalancette. David Johnston Lawler, National Merit Finalist and Scholarship winner, Essex Rotary. Daniel G. Lazarchek. Lance Stephen LeClaire. Martin John LeClaire. Nicholas Joseph Ledoux. Kimberly Morgan LeMay, UVM Vermont Scholar. Jacob Abraham Leopold. Megan Colvart Light, Essex Business and Professional Association Scholarship. Zach S. Lange. Kristen Elizabeth Lovell. Travis Armand Mack. Robert William Mackey. Audrey Ann Gale Magre. Joshua McLean Mayer. Nathan James Maley, UVM Vermont Scholar. Kimberly Lorraine Marcoux. Lyndon Kwan Marno Furi. Laura Lynn Massey, Essex Classical Institute Scholarship. Diana Lorraine Makovich, National Merit Commendations. Alexander William Madison. Channing May. Andrew Richard McCaffrey. Christopher Michael McGockney, Knights of Columbus Roy C. Kudermarsh Scholarship, St. Michael's College Scholarship. Lisa Lynn McGowan. Heather Courtney McGrath. Travis Allen McGrath. Matthew Lars McKenna. Daniel Ronald McLean. Catherine Margaret McNamara, UVM Vermont Scholar. Sarah Lynn Merchant. Chad Michael McCure. Brian Mark Merrill. Martha Ann Messier. Cassia Ann Miller. Wendy Aaron Miller, National Merit Commendations. Tyson E. Mink. Alyssa Ann Miranda. Heather Kristen Mitchell. Stephen Michael Mixon, UVM Vermont Scholar. Justin Charles Mohajer. Carissa Dawn Mungeon. Kylie Jean Mungeon. Justin Arthur Morse. Kristen Marie Murphy, Endicott College Scholarship. Elizabeth Lynn Murdy. Matthew Christopher Nichols. Christine Frances Novak. Megan Caitlin O'Brien. Kathleen Austin O'Connell. Thomas Martin O'Keefe, Essex Classical Institute Scholarship. Gregory Edward O'Neill. Matthew William O'Neill. Patrick Michael Kennedy O'Neill, National Football Foundation and College Hall of Fame Scholars Athlete Scholarship, St. Anselm Scholarship. Charles Etienne Willett. Sarah Olivia Willett. Jesse Gilbert Palker, Ashley Marie Papariello. Abby Lynn Parker. John Paul Parker. John Wesley Pastor, National Merit Commendation. Dylan Ernst Pedrini. James Arthur Phillips. Jamie Lynn Pichet. Andrew Robert Piggott. Chad William Piaski. Travis J. Poirier. Belinda Marie Paquette. Danielle Elise Pouliot. Heather Marie Pratt. Timothy H. Pratt. Robert Hunter Prichette, Christopher David Provost. Dina Lee Raftery. Sean Michael Richer. Daniel Joseph Riera. Farah Rizvi. Jessie Elizabeth Tara Robinson, Essex Junction Lions Club Scholarship. Leslie Hunton Robinson. Amy Elizabeth Rogers, Kimberly Willie Memorial Scholarship, Track and Field Thrower Scholarship, University of Maryland Baltimore County Scholarship. Felipe Romancini. Andrew Benjamin Rosenthal. Leanne Carmi Russell. Tyler J. Sadler. Sarah Ann Santerre. John E. Sapo. Lauren Schechter. Talia Schechter, UVM Vermont Scholar. Christopher Thomas Schilla, IBM Thomas J. Watson Scholarship, St. Michael's Scholarship. Lauren K. Scott. Alex Michael Shaner. Brooke Elizabeth Shaner. John Shanks. Marion Min Shi Shea, National Merit Commendation. Shira Beth Singer, University of New Hampshire Scholarship. Danielle Lynn Smale, Goss Dodge Scholarship, Eagles Club Clifford Roberts Scholarship. Shannon Kelly Smith. Tyrell Benjamin Smith. Adrian Lee Schneider. Cassandra Jean Sprout, Army College Fund Scholarship. Lucy Schwaslik, UVM Vermont Scholar. Miranda Lynn St. Louis. Brian William Starkle. Michael Ian Stein. Rose Ann Stouffer. Matthias Strackbein. Michelle Lynn Strickland. Kristen Lynn Strube. Sean Michael Sullivan. Zachary Lyon Summerfield. Christopher James Sweeney. Thomas Michael Swick. Kimberly Dawn Tahan. Noah Richard Taylor. Nicholas James Tebbets. Jesse B. Tomko. Rebecca Lee Toney. Samantha Lynn Tonti, Essex Classical Institute Scholarship. Melissa Lynn Toppings. Jessica Lynn Town. Tendo Lofuno Chikororo. Alexandra Nicole Tercy, Georgia Pacific Corporation Scholarship, UVM Vermont Scholar. Anita Van Jarsveld. Okay. No, Laura Beth Van Orden. Robert John Vanone. Kelly Marie Visker. Holly Lynn Wakefield. Keith Stephen Walcott. Joseph Michael Walsh. Emily Martha Ward, the Cone Automatic Machine Company Charitable Foundation Scholarship. Patricia Rachel Weeks, National Merit Commendations, UVM Vermont Scholar. Christopher Michael Wells. Christina Ann Weston. Catherine Laura Weatherby. Daniel Andrew White, National Merit Commendation, IBM Thomas J. Watson Scholarship. Dylan C. White. Wade Anthony Whitehouse. Jacob Charles Willard. Michael Charles Willie. Hillary Felice Wilson. Matthew Charles Windish. Marcy Ann Wywajik. Jamie Lynn Wortham. John Charles Wright. Travis Earl Yates. Catherine D. Young. Christopher Edward Zura. Mark. It's read as yeah, correct it now. I'm trying to find it. Mike Abernathy. Okay. I don't have it? Okay. Shut that off. Right. I need to make one correction. I read a name as Michael Lee Arnold. It should be Michael Lee Abernathy. My apologies. May I ask the members of the class of 2001 to please rise? On the count of 3, you will move your tassels from left to right, after which, ladies and gentlemen, I will proudly present to you the Essex High School class of 2001. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2001.